open your door for me. मैं तेरा दर न छोड़ूंगा. I won't leave your door either. Oh my Lord, you won't open your door for me. I won't leave your door either. हुकूमत अपनी अपनी है, कहीं तेरी कहीं मेरी. He said each one of us has his or her position. You have your position that you won't, right, open your door, and I have my position that I won't leave your door. You can't chase me away from your door, but you can prevent me from entering into your door. So I have my stand and you have your stand. So this is what it means. He says it means stability and constantly derived from the word ahabba, which describes how the camel sits and refuses to stand. That if you're in love, this is the beloved, I want her or nothing at all. Right? People become stubborn in love. That's the object of love. People told Majnun, but you know what, there are far more beautiful women than Layla. And she wasn't the prettiest of women, by the way. There are far more beautiful women than Layla. And by the way, Layla and Majnun's story is not a fairy tale. Huh? So some of the people regard Majnun, Qais, his name was Qais, as a friend of Allah who reached the highest pinnacle of love. And some of them say, yeah, on the day of Qiyamah, Majnun will be brought as the yardstick and the benchmark for love. For all of those who claim to be lovers of Allah. And I say, you came close to this one. You know the story about Majnun? You know, one day he was walking past the desert making Layla, 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 and he happened to go past a man who was performing salah. Right? And he went past him, and he broke his namaz, and he said, Maulana Sahib, you walk past me inside there, you broke my salat and everything inside there. Maulana said, huh? What? What are you talking about? He said, you went past me while I was performing salah. Maulana said, I'm sorry, I didn't even know, I didn't even see you. Let alone know that I went past you. The man said, didn't you see me? He said, no, I didn't even see you. He said, well, I was so engrossed in the thought of Layla, I didn't even see that you were standing there, nor was in a way you even performing, even being aware that you're performing salah. I didn't even see you there. But Majnun looked at it, I feel very surprised at you, man. Here I am lost in the love of an earthly beloved, of a human beloved, that is full of shortcomings and whatever it is. And here you are supposedly engrossed in the worship of Allah. But I was so engrossed in the thought of my beloved that I didn't even see you, let alone know you're performing salah. And you were engrossed with your creator, engaging in communication with your creator there. And you managed to even see me and bother about me, even bother to actually pass you and broke a salah. What type of salah are you performing? Yeah. You think love is a joke. After all of this, you're very scared to even love. You know that, huh? You should know me, man. It's part of everybody's rules. It is said that the word hub is derived from hab, which means earring. Now this is very interesting. I quite like this one here. That doesn't give any woman justification for asking for a pair of earrings, okay? The earring is called hab, either because of how it adheres fast to the ear. How an earring adheres fast to the ear. That's how you become attached to your beloved. You won't let go. Literally they put a screw inside there and they close it up. You can't pull that. You have to literally pull the ear out or pull part of the skin out before it comes out. So they say the word hab is derived from an earring because of how it adheres fast to the ear, or because of how it sings unsteadily. Both of these concepts are features of love. Why? Because although the earring is attached to the beloved, the ring also moves and swings unsteadily because you go through different states. She loves me, she loves me not. She loves me, she loves me. She loves me, she loves me not. Loves me, loves me not. Right? Ask any of you people who are in love here, before you got married, like the person said, how are you? Fine. What's wrong? Nothing. Khatam, Baba. For the next 3-4 hours until you get a 2-syllable answer, right? That person is finished. Because you read into everything that the beloved tells you. And like you're not sure. What did he mean by that? How did he mean? People get confused. Riza, you don't know anything about it. Right? He said, he's also said that it's derived from the word habba, meaning the center of the heart. Since love resides in the heart. Right? It is said it is derived from hibba, meaning seed, because it is the core of life, just as seeds are the cores of plants. What is a seed? A seed, no. What is a tree? A tree is the potential of the seed realized. How's that definition? A tree is the potential of the seed realized. What is the official maqsad? Was the seed. Without the seed, there will be no tree. So if you see the potential of the seed realized is in the tree. But would you have thought that within that seed there was an entire tree? Can you see? Okay. So they say, sorry, right? But also, because it is the core of life, just as seeds are the cause of plants. Now, you have to plant a seed in the ground. You have to water it with tears. You have to let the fire and the heat of love fall on it before the tree starts to grow. So if there's no tears of love, there's no grief, there's no sorrow, that thing will never ever germinate. And if there's no heat of love, the fire of love, the anguish of love, do you think it will ever synthesize for photosynthesis? That love will never ever become green. That's why they say أَصْلُهَا ثَابِتٌ وَفَرْعُهَا فِي السَّمَاءِ. That's why the seed of faith is planted in the heart and its branches reach into the heavens. Okay? He said, it is also stated that it is said that hub means the 4 pieces of wood upon which 2-handled jar is placed. You know the pots, you get the 2-handled jars, right? And you take 4 pieces of wood. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you place it. One is like this, one goes horizontally and one goes vertically. And you place the 2-handled pot on top of it. Right? Why? Which signifies that the lover will carry whatever burden his beloved gives him, noble or ignoble. You take the burden of love. The way the 4 pieces of wood take the entire burden of that jug or that pot. Okay? It is said that it is named after a water jug because it holds on to what fills it but cannot accommodate anything else. If the heart has love inside there, there's no place for anything else. If there's one beloved, there's no place for anything else either. Right? Just as when the heart is filled with love, it has no room for anything but its beloved. Okay? There's another word here, right? According to some, hub is another name of pure love. As in Arab uses the pure white part of the human eye. What is this called? What is this called? Sclera, isn't it? Yeah. The eye, that's pupil. No. The white is, the black is the iris. Inside is the pupil. But what I'm saying, the black is the pupil. No. The black is the iris. The inside is the pupil.
Yeah, they open.
Yeah, but same. Right. The white part is the sclera. Okay. Right. So they say that according to some, hub is another name of pure love. As in Arab uses, the pure white part of the human eye is called habbatul insan. Right? Just as the pure black spot in the heart is called habbatul qalb. Now there's no black spot in your heart, but the very core of your heart, you know, at the very middle of your heart, at the very core of your heart, the darkest part, the deepest part of your heart is called habbatul qalb. The way this is called habbatul insan, the pure white of the eye is called habbatul insan. And the former being the place of vision and the latter of love. This is where you see the beloved with, and this is where you feel the love for the beloved. So the reason why they call it either hub comes from the word habbatul insan, the white of the eye, or the core of the heart, is because they say, my heart is jealous of my eyes, which enjoy the vision of the beloved. My heart is jealous of the eyes, which enjoy the vision of the beloved. And my eyes are jealous of my heart, which enjoys his union. Allah. Did you understand that? Okay. My heart is jealous of my eyes, which enjoy the vision of the beloved. Right? And my eyes are jealous of my heart, which enjoys his union. The eye receives the vision of the beloved, fair enough. But where is the experience of that vision and that ecstasy and that union celebrated and felt? In the heart. But this, he says the eye also feels jealous and the heart also feels jealous, because the heart says, I want the vision too. That's why the Prophet ﷺ saw him with the eyes of his مَا كَذَبَ الْفُؤَادُ مَا رَأَى. He saw him with the eye of his heart and the eye of his physical eyes. Do you understand that? So both of them received vision. مَا كَذَبَ الْفُؤَادُ مَا رَأَى. His heart did not belie what he saw. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Okay? Then I'm going to give you another, this is the explanation that Shaykh Abu Ali Hujwayri rahmatullahi alayhi, Sahib al-Kashf al-Mahjub states. Right? He says Shaykh Samnoon al-Muhib, who held a very peculiar doctrine concerning love. Shaykh Samnoon Muhib was one of the great lovers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's a long legend about him, whatever it is there. But cutting a long story short, when Samnoon Muhib would sit to talk about love, right? When he would sit in the masjid and talk about love, such was his experience and realization, right? and becoming love itself, that when he opened his mouth to talk about love, right, the atmosphere and the vibrations that emitted from him would cause the lanterns in the mosque to hit against each other and crash. Right? It would cause birds in mid-flight to hit the beaks against walls. Like out of shock. You walk into a wall, literally birds would fly into walls. Right? And people who go there would fall down unconscious. Why? Because when he spoke of love, it wasn't speech, it wasn't statements, it was state. Does anybody know what love is? Do you know how powerful love is? Have you any idea? Even on a negative scale. Sure. So anyway, right? Ahmad bin Usman al-Makki wrote a book called Kitab al-Muhabba. I'm just giving the historical, these are acquired through kashf, unveiling, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unveils. And it has no sanad in books of hadith or anything. I'm just giving a historical explanation of how the lovers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to whom the secrets of love were unveiled have given an explanation of what love is. So Ahmad bin Usman al-Makki, this in Kashf al-Mahjub, says in his Kitab al-Muhabba that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the hearts 7,000 years before the bodies and kept them in the station of proximity of qurb. Right? So the hearts were exposed to the proximity, the qurb of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? And that He created the spirits, the life, right? 7,000 years before the souls, and kept them in the degree of intimacy, uns. Did you understand that? No. What's the distinction between qurb and uns? Nearness, proximity, and uns, intimacy. Okay. Allah created the soul, the hearts, 7,000 years before the bodies. Don't worry, the standard 13 stuff will come to an end in about a week or two. I'm just giving you, the depths of love. You understand? I need for you to understand from all levels, okay? And kept them in the stations of proximity, qurb, and that He created the spirits, jan, 7,000 years before the souls, and kept them in the degree of intimacy, uns. What's the distinction between the proximity and intimacy?
One is with love.
Well, both are with love. Both are with love. I'll use a crude example, right? You are close to your best friend, but you're intimate with your wife.
The degree of it.
The degree and the intensity. So qurb has its place, but uns is very intimate. You understand? Put it simply, qurb is in the house, uns is in the bedroom. No, I didn't mean it like that, Baba. What I meant was the house is big, room is more. Hey, dirty one. Toba, 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 toba. And that He created the hearts, sirha, those secrets, 7,000 years before the spirits, and kept them in the degree of union, wasl. Now, that's even closer. How do you explain that one? Qurb was proximity in the house. Uns was intimacy in the room. And wasl, union, is where? In the bed. Did you understand that? Did you understand that? Okay? And revealed the epiphany of His beauty, the tajalli of His beauty to the heart 360 times every day, and bestowed on it 360 looks of grace. And He caused the spirits to hear the word of love, and manifested 360. Don't have to take the notes on all of this one. It's like too heavy, right? And the word of love, and manifested 360 exquisite favors of intimacy to the soul. So they all surveyed the phenomenal universe and saw nothing more precious than themselves, and were filled with vanity and pride. Therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala subjected them to probation. He imprisoned the heart in the spirit, and the spirit in the soul, and the soul in the body. Then he mingled reason, aql with them, and sent prophets and gave commands. Then each of them began to seek its original status. God ordered them to pray. The body betook itself to prayer. The soul attained to love. The spirit arrived in proximity to God, and the heart found rest in union with Him. Right. Only knowers of Allah can talk like this. You saw what happened? Each spiritual latifa or spiritual entity within your body, whether it is your qalb, whether it is your ruh, whether it is your sir, whether it is your khafi, but you know, like you have external senses, you have internal senses, right? Subtle entities in you. So your qalb, ruh, sir, khafi, akhfa, each one is one dimension or one station closer to attaining proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and each one has a different experience of intimacy, like I said, qurb, uns, wasl. Right? So any human being that is subjected to such degree of love, right, and only sees the beloved in the mirror of love. I use this example before. I want you to understand what I'm talking about. Love is at the very core of your being. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, are you looking at yourself, or are you looking at the mirror looking at you? Very important point. What's your very essence? Love. But what I'm explaining to you now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places love at the very core of your very essence. So if that is your very core and your very essence, can you see your essence? Can you see your essence? All you see is this. But even this is so beautiful that you can't stop looking at yourself, no matter how ugly you may be.
Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder.
No, actually, I'll correct that. No, I'm sorry. From a Quranic perspective, beauty does not lie in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is pre-existent in everything. Beauty is pre-existent in anything. There is intrinsic beauty in everything. There is intrinsic beauty in anything and everything. Ask any mother. There's an old story. You know, I used to read the stories. My granny used to buy them for me from Taj Company. Right? And the stories of Birbal. You know, Birbal was a wise, like a wazir of the king, right, in India. I can't remember the name of the king, but I remember Birbal. So one day the king asked him, Birbal, tell me, who's the most beautiful child in the world? Or in my kingdom? So Birbal brought one very dark looking child and said, this is what are you talking about? He's the most beautiful child in the kingdom. So he said, wait, I'll show you now. After about 2 hours or so, the mother comes running with the child. Where's my child? Has anyone seen my child? So Birbal asked, is that your child? He said, yes. Oh, my Sona, my baby, my darling, my sweetheart. You're the most beautiful thing in the world. No, she kissed the child. Couldn't get enough of the child. So Birbal said, this is the love of the mother. It is love which makes everything beautiful. And it's love which sees the intrinsic beauty in everything. It's love that sees the intrinsic beauty in everything. You cannot tell me there is anything that is ugly. Do you know that? If you can see through the eye of love, nothing becomes ugly. Okay, but that's a different discussion. Where was I now? Where came I up with this story from? What is it talking about? Oh yeah, right, thank you very much. See, you called it right? I have to behold that. Okay? The intrinsic love. So, are you looking at yourself, or are you looking at the mirror looking at you? Did you understand that, right? So, similarly, when the souls and the spirits and the qalb, all your internal entities were exposed to love and the divine graces of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the epiphany and the tajalliyat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? It became so taken away by this that it regarded nothing more beautiful than that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no. That's not your beauty. That's just my beauty reflected in the mirror that you are. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
So that is Allah's tajalli.
The tajalli of Allah. That's the tajalli of Allah. Right? You know, one scholar, I can't remember the exact words, he says, after seeing the beauty of Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? The देखकर हुस्न मुस्तफा को कहती है ये दुनिया or something, वो मुसव्विर कैसा होगा जिसकी ये तस्वीर? How must the artist be if he is the portrait of the artist? Allahu Akbar. If the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the masterpiece, right? And you know the master portrait, right? Imagine what the artist must be like. So when these souls were exposed to all of the tajalliyat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of all of His graces and everything, and they were exposed to all various levels of the very essence of a human being, all that they were at that time were a mirror of His beauty. And they mistook it, not mistook it, but they understood to be their own, their essence. So no. Understand that it is not your essence. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then ordered them, right? He said, now see how it worked, right? Therefore God subjected them to probation. He imprisoned the heart in the spirit, and the spirit in the soul, and the soul in the body. The heart in the spirit, right? Spirit means in your ruh, right? And the spirit in the soul, which is your nafs, and the soul in the body. Then He mingled reason, aql, with them. That creates confusion. You know, aql creates confusion. Not confusion in a bad way, but aql is reason. These other two things here are beyond reason. And the moment reason comes inside, that's when questions arise. But love is unbridled. Allama Iqbal spoke about Sayyidina Ibrahim Khalilullah alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala threw him, Namrud threw him into the fire, in the big fire with the bullfrog. So Allama Iqbal said, Bekhatar, without any fear, Kood pada atish Namrud mein ishq. Ishq, love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala compelled Ibrahim alayhi salatu salam, right, to jump into the fire created by Namrud. Right? And while Ibrahim alayhi salam, without thinking, jumped in the fire, Namrud not worried whether he's going to burn, whether anything going to happen to him, whether he'll be destroyed, whether he'll die or anything like that. Right? When he did that, before Aql could even interfere, before reason could, Aql, and Allama Iqbal said, Aql hai, mehme tamasha labe baam rabi. Ibrahim alayhi salam already jumped into the fire, Aql is still standing, on the top of the brink of the fire. He said, hey, bhai, what you want to delay? Because the moment you mingle reason into the whole thing, everything goes out of the window. The moment you ask, but why? Love asks no questions. Love asks no questions.